It was supposed to be a peaceful gathering, but the anger was apparent.
My dear Muslim brothers and sisters, we will never accept for our messenger to be insulted and defamed.
The spokesman for the event, who is also a British lawyer, insists the cartoons of Muhammad should not be protected speech.
Where free speech becomes irresponsible and begins to come within the realms of insult and injury and blasphemy, that's where we say that that is not free speech.
The cartoon controversy seems to be radicalizing many British Muslims, as it has Muslims all around the world. A poll for the London Sunday Telegraph showed 40% of British Muslims now want Islamic Sharia law. Sharia would impose stonings and amputations as punishment. And 1 in 5 said they felt sympathy for the feelings or motives of the July 7th London suicide bombers. Although British Muslims are less than 5% of the population here, it is arguably the most influential minority because it is feared. Earlier protests in London against the Muhammad cartoons called for beheadings. But if there is one thing the British establishment fears more than Muslim violence, it is simply being labeled politically incorrect and Islamophobe. Police have been slow or unwilling to crack down hard on Islamic radicals, and no mainstream British paper has printed the cartoons. Terrorism expert Simon Barrett.
Having spoken to a number of journalists, asking them questions, would your paper be prepared to publish these cartoons? And the answer is no, because we fear that we would be targeted, we would be firebombed, and we would be labelled as being anti-Islamic.
Trevor Kavanagh is the associate editor for Britain's largest newspaper, The Sun.
I think that all the newspapers in Britain and in Europe should have agreed to publish the cartoons, simply because I think that satire, whether it's clever or not so clever, and funny or not so funny, is an important part, an important strand of democracy.
But that's a minority view. And this is a nation, like many in Europe, that still seems to be in some denial over the threat from Islam, the threat to Western democracy, and how to handle that threat. There still seems to be an unwillingness to confront Muslim radicalism head-on in Britain, and that's why every terrorist expert we've talked to has said there will be another attack. Patrick Mercer is the Shadow Minister for Homeland Security for the Conservative Tory party.
Do you think there's going to be another major attack?
Yes. We've had 3 failed attacks, foiled attacks, since the 21st of July that we know about, that we've been told about. They're continuing to try, they're continuing to test us, they want to kill us.
Moderate Muslim leaders here continue to insist that they reject extremism and are helping authorities find the radicals.
The mainstream community does not accept those extremist elements who are sponsored by outside agencies and who do not represent Muslim mainstream in the United Kingdom and in Europe.
But at least one speaker at Saturday's event said openly that the cartoons had in fact united Muslim moderates and extremists.
We are being told that this is freedom, that this is a European way of life, to insult the prophets and the messengers. 1,000 years ago, no one dared to harm a Muslim. You wanted us to keep on remaining silent, but we will not remain silent when you insult the messenger of Allah.
Mercer says not enough Britons died in London's 7/7 bombings to cause the government and the nation to realize the threat it faces from Islamic fundamentalism.
There is a threat out there, and we are going to be attacked again, and we will continue to be attacked again. Only then will political correctness start to be rolled back.
Saturday's London march was intended to be peaceful, but analysts fear the tremendous anger on display will eventually lead to violence. Dale Hurd, CBN News, London.